Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thursday, 5 days into the month of March. Another pretty nice day in the neighborhood. Some clouds, a little bit of sun in the latter afternoon and throughout, and some winds, certainly. We'll talk about that and current conditions in just a few moments. Looking ahead, the 80s should be in town tomorrow. Pretty nice day ahead as well. Only a slight chance of some showers, mostly sunny, pushing 80. After that, we've got several days in a row with shower and or thunderstorm chances, pretty good ones. Nothing real heavy as far as total rainfall is expected. Towards the end of your 7-day, a downturn that, if it keeps downturning thereafter, could put us in position to see a few flakes flying about. It is Kentucky and March, and we'll have more on that in just a few seconds. Scott Hazlett, Sheriff of Johnson County, will be with us via a phone interview in just a few moments to tell us what he can about the accident that is, we've confirmed now, as of the family has been notified, claimed the life of a Magoffin County man who was driving a commercial vehicle over in Johnson County earlier today. I'll have that report. We will as well. I have a little update from the Magoffin County Animal Shelter tonight. On tomorrow's program, we'll wrap up with Mrs. Zoe Howard and go out on a nice, entertaining note for the weekend. So I'm holding that until tomorrow. As for other news and headlines, first off, sentencing now awaits a Johnson County father and son. The father, a former physician who had surrendered his medical license back in 2012, but continued to illegally, says the federal government, distribute narcotics. This report is one that we've followed along and actually goes back to 2024 in the month of June, when the U.S. Attorney's Office said that they had announced criminal charges about schemes to defraud Medicaid and Medicare and fraudulently prescribe controlled substance. It was then that 69-year-old Don Bryson of Oil Springs was charged by information with a conspiracy to unlawfully distribute controlled substances by using the name and DEA registration number of another physician. It was alleged by the federal government then that Bryson was a physician who had surrendered his medical license in 2012 after a Kentucky Board of Medical Licensure investigation into his prescribing practices. Bryson continued to work, though, for a number of years as a medical consultant at the clinic in Paintsville owned by his son. Fast forward to the next update. March of last year, the first indictment reported against his son, named in a federal grand jury indictment, charging Jeremy Bryson with a count of conspiracy to distribute controlled substances and conspiracy to illegally use a prescribing registration number that belonged to another individual, and using proceeds from those illegal gains to write a check for about $67,000 for a new pickup truck. The son, the owner of the Talmadge Group, the company that ran Appalachian Family Medicine, which operated in the building that his father, former Dr. Don Bryson, owned and was paid rent for, as well as paid a monthly fee for being a consultant for. And then it was last fall, in November, a superseding indictment against the son, a 9-count federal indictment that opened the case up against Jeremy Bryson, who was accused of conspiring to illegally distribute hydrocodone and other controlled substances at the Appalachian Family Medicine location, using another doctor's DEA registration number to do so. The federal government saying that they essentially ran a cash service, taking cash for the physician's visit and to get prescriptions for opioids between he and his father. And last evening, Jeremy Bryson was convicted by a federal grand jury in Frankfort. The trial, which was more than a week in, found him guilty on charges of conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance and dispense a controlled substance, as well as conspiracy to use that before-mentioned DEA registration number that belonged to another physician. So Jeremy Bryson is set to be sentenced on June the 2nd. As for his father, he has already pled guilty in his case. He did so back this summer and is set to be sentenced coming up sometime soon. We do not have any information about his official sentencing as of right now, as far as the date. I'll be right back with more headlines in just a minute. For home, farm, hillside, or anywhere you need it, A&W Tree Services offers professional tree and brush trimming, removal, and complete cleanup. They're experienced, insured, and have great references. Call for a free estimate, 496-9385 or 9442. A&W Tree Services.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National. For most of us, looking forward to spring means dreading asthma and allergy symptoms that can range from mild to wild. But you can breathe easier with medications and recommendations by those you trust the most. The team at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville. Election season is here, and we are a one-stop sign and advertising shop. Campaign commercials for TV, for the internet, print advertising in 2 publications, yard signs, bumper stickers, business cards, shirts, caps, banners, all in-house, all premium quality, all local, with no minimums to purchase. Call Independent Signs and Mortimer Media Group today, 349-2915.
Youth.
Experience.
Modern solutions to modern problems.
Proven solutions to legal problems.
An emerging face in the courtroom.
A known presence in the courtroom.
Together, we are multifaceted.
Together, we will do right by you.
If you are having any legal issues at all, just relax and call Max.
If a car wreck is causing you pain, just pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne.
Tragedy struck today in Johnson County. A commercial vehicle owned by Jackson Propane, being operated, as we have now confirmed, by Magoffin County man who was pronounced dead at the scene, left the roadway. It appears as though the driver lost control of the vehicle. And to find out more, Sheriff Scott Hazlett was kind enough to speak to me from the scene just around 4:30 or so, where they were still in the process of recovering that vehicle, to tell us what had happened.
We received a call today at about 12:39 p.m. of a propane tanker wreck at the 9500 block of Kentucky Route 201, which is near the Johnson and Lawrence County line. And upon arrival, we had a propane truck that was, all indications, was traveling south on 201 towards Saintsville, and had dropped off of the edge of the road. And during the recovery process, the driver lost control and shot across both lanes of 201, going over an embankment and ending up in a drainage ditch beside a house here. At the initial response and arrival at the scene, however, we had propane leaking from the truck, but that has since been sealed and not a problem at this particular point in time. And we've got members of the WR Castle, Oil Springs, Flat Gap, and I think at one point Rock House Volunteer Fire Departments were all on scene. Actually, the Kentucky State Police commercial vehicle enforcement are taking the collision and working the collision or whatever. I contacted state police folks and made them aware that it was involving a commercial vehicle fatality, so they are in charge of the investigation at this point.
And as the family has been notified and since confirmed, we can report tonight that Alan Skaggs of Magoffin County was the man who was pronounced dead in that commercial vehicle accident this afternoon. As I understand, funeral services will be handled by the Magoffin County Funeral Home and are pending at this hour, and that's all the information that I have. A quick break, and then we'll return, and we still have a lot to talk about in weather, the Magoffin County Animal Shelter as well, your calendar, and much more. I'll be right back.
Johnson Central High School stands alone in providing the most college and career programs of study in one building throughout the entire state of Kentucky. This includes pathways in everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County School.
90s Mixtape Live. Motown Philly's back again. But it's love that I need. That thing, that thing, that thing. Oops, I did it again. Rock your body, yeah. Party now, and I will always love you. Mixtape Live. Never seen that day for revolution.
These are actual recent images of local heating and cooling systems, residential and commercial. An example of 75% of all the calls that Ultimate Air responds to. Little or no maintenance, or sometimes someone else being paid to maintain a system. Prevent 75% of your breakdowns with preventative and actual maintenance by Ultimate Air. Locally owned, locally trusted.
I wonder, could this be our last trip together? What if I upset him? He might never call again. But what if I don't say anything?
Hey, Dad. Is something wrong?
Actually, are you okay?
If someone you know or love is struggling, contact Big Sandy Healthcare today.
Now let's check in with our friends at the McGoffin County Animal Shelter, who have a lot to be thankful for because of a lot of you. I was in Lexington just a week or so ago and ran into our good friend and meteorologist, of course, Chris Bailey, and he had received a $500 donation from another organization to be made in his name, and he chose the McGoffin County Animal Shelter, for which they were very thankful. They're also thankful for a lot of other support they have received as of late. Every little bit certainly goes a long way. And they've also got a fundraiser for the month of March to speak of. And of course, there's always a few lovable faces that are looking for a forever home. Here's Michelle.
Hey guys, just wanted to come on and thank everybody today. We want to start out by thanking Nothing But Love Canine Foundation. They sent us a box in and it had lots of clothes and leashes and collars for our babies, and this little girl here happens to be wearing one. Is she not the cutest? We also want to thank everybody for the donations on the doggy grams. We raised $478. We want to thank everybody at Prohibition Coffee, the vape shop, at the Family Dollar, and anybody who donated to these babies. Also, in our sponsorship hearts, we raised over $600, and every dog and cat here at the shelter are scheduled for their spay or neuter. And again, we want to thank everybody for that. This little girl here was found roaming, and she has to belong to somebody. She's an older gal, and she's a super sweet girl. So if anybody wants to know where her mommy or her daddy is, just could you please let them know where she's at? And if not, she will be available in 3 days for adoption. This old gal needs out of here and needs a new home. For March, our fundraiser is going to be these super cute t-shirts. This is the back. They'll all be on a sports gray t-shirt with the black, just like this one. This will be the front with the McGoffin County Animal Shelter logo and the dog paw. There'll be $21 for small through extra large, and anything above will be $23. You can contact myself, Melissa Hines, or come to the animal shelter. I'll have them at Family Dollar to be able to look at, and we'll run these through March to see what else we can do to keep what we want going on for these babies here.
And anyone can feel free at any time to drop by the Magoffin County Animal Shelter, as these young ladies, of course, our own Miss Magoffin, Miss Erin Grace Rudd, and her sidekick here this evening, who found herself a sidekick, I think. That is Kendall Minix, I do believe. And she and Erin had brought together some wonderful donations for the animal shelter, spending a little time petting a few furry friends and helping out with a wonderful cause. If you want to stop by and just maybe take some for a walk, maybe bring a few treats, what have you, well, it's all a good deed, well-deserved and done at the Magoffin County Animal Shelter, which is on Broadway Street just above the Sagersville Fire Department. It's a birthday to begin, Marvin, with a lot of love from Sherry, Leanne, Bill, Holly, and Will, and the family and friends who all wish to chime in with them. The happiest of birthdays tonight to Marvin Watson. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you. From there, I've just got one reminder, I think, on the calendar tonight, and it's for this weekend. Big time to be had at the Head of Coon United Baptist Church. A big dinner and auction, big soup bean dinner, hot dog dinner as well, and a great auction all to take place. You can have some great food and save yourself maybe some big dollars as well on some good items, or you could just, bid double what they're worth and help support the Head of Coon United Baptist Church. That's always a good idea as well. That's this Saturday starting at noon, with the dinner, the auction starting at 1. From there, funeral service announcements we have this evening include that of Slim Morgan Jr., Carl Slim Morgan, 71, of Old Lick Creek, who passed away this week, the son of Reva Mae Marshall and the late Carl Morgan Sr. He is survived by his mother, sisters Gail Conley and Carol Conley, special niece Samantha Perkins, special nephew Ryan Conley, with services to be held tomorrow morning at 11 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. And arrangements incomplete at this hour for Alan Skaggs of Sagersville, who passed away earlier today in Johnson County. Those arrangements we believe to be announced by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. It's a new year with new deals at Conley Tire in Staffordsville, like $100 back on new sets of Goodyears through February the 28th, and other specials on East Kentucky's best in-stock tire inventory. Conley's, your tire, wheel, and auto repair and maintenance HQ since 1982. In Staffordsville or at conleytire.net.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH, more for Appalachia.
A new year often means new inspirations, new goals, a new focus on your health and well-being, and nowhere is that more important than Fraser's Prater Drugstore. From healthy resolutions to a fresh start without smoking, to a fresh batch of cookies just in from the daily bread, to some incredible comfort food at the counter. Step in and let us remind you why we'll always be your oldest hometown pharmacy. Fraser's Prater Drugstore, downtown Sagersville. B&B Discount Tobacco has moved just down the street beside the Magoffin County Rescue Squad. New location, new and improved drive-through, new products, more inventory, more reasons to stop by B&B Tobacco 7 days a week. Ranked in the very top 10% of the top 150 Kentucky workers' compensation attorneys for Social Security, disability, SSI, personal injury, or workers' compensation, if your working days are over, meet Grover. 888-9-GROVER or locally 349-2065. An update on 15th Region basketball. The boys got into play last night. It was Floyd Central 53, Pike Central 42, and Johnson Central 93 over Phelps, who racked up 58 points on the hardwood. So on Saturday, we've got a Floyd Central, Johnson Central matchup in the semis. Tonight, Belfry and Martin County's boys and Pikeville and Paintsville's boys will be narrowing those four teams down to two to go on to the semis. And girls action, of course, resumes, as I told you last night, this Saturday with their semifinal rounds. No, excuse me, Friday with their semifinal rounds. I knew that wasn't right. Friday for girls action next. A lot of action in the weather forecast. None of it on the severe side as of yet. Sure, thunderstorm chances are there throughout, but as of right now, they've been kind of few and far between so far. They do increase over much of your 7-day, and then that warm air decreases by the end of it. Taking a look at a little current data, if you're catching the end of the 6 o'clock show, we're sitting exactly where we were at this time yesterday, right at 70 degrees again, after hitting, I think we had 75 yesterday too, 75 again today in downtown Sayersville. And with that, we've got, just like we were yesterday, winds out of the east, 1 to 2 miles per hour. The daily gust maximum was different today. Yesterday, it was single digits. Today, 22 miles an hour in downtown Sayersville, keep in mind. And I know if you're up on the Parkway or some other places, it was a little more brisk than that. Relative humidity around 68%. No rain to speak of. Sunrise a minute earlier, 6:59. Sunset a minute later, 6:31. And remember, spring those clocks forward this weekend, so we're going to jump ahead an hour and get much more daylight, much more quickly. And again, one of my favorite times of the year. I don't like losing an hour's worth of sleep, but I will take the trade any day. Now, if you're wondering, well, where were the showers and storms that we had in the forecast for today? Well, we fared pretty well, and we were just under that radar, so to speak, literally. And here is looking at what current conditions are for other parts of Kentucky and into West Virginia. Those lines are moving through Richmond and on out of central Kentucky area, and not well, but definitely just to our north, missing McGoffin and Johnson counties by about a county right there. And that's going to be the pattern, it looks as though, for the next little bit, certainly. While we do have a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms this evening, mainly before 11, so far, all of those, again, are following that same trend and track, and we're not in on that action. I have no complaints. We're seeing a pretty nice little evening out there in 70 degrees. Good evening for some cobbler and a little ice cream. Just saying, right? 59, mostly cloudy is where we'll go tonight. And again, a 30% chance of showers that so far are missing us. Tomorrow for your Friday, mostly sunny, 80 degrees. We have a 20% and only a 20% chance of showers, not until after 4 or 5 o'clock. And that's about it. I've got 30 there on your screen, but that's been updated now to about a 20% chance. So tomorrow looks to be very nice. It's a good day to... I don't know if you've got a day coming to you. I hate to put any bad thoughts in anyone's mind, but, maybe a sick day in somebody's future tomorrow. Watch something break here, and I won't be able to be here, and you'll think I'm getting away with it. That won't happen. Well, let's hope, knock on wood. Anyway, 80, mostly sunny for your Friday. It's going to be a nice one. And then again, we'll see close to 80 on your Saturday, but not so much sun. We'll see partly sunny skies again, but southwesterly winds are going to start blowing in some clouds and some showers, up to 25-mile-per-hour winds out of the southwest on your Saturday. And we'll have a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. This looks to be in the latter afternoon, maybe around 2 o'clock or so, that will try to crank up. So again, we will see breezy, windy conditions on your Saturday, some sunshine, but shower and storm chances as the day and evening goes on. Sunday, well, the front that has all that action Saturday leaves us with about 65, 66 degrees for the latter half of your weekend, and a 40% chance of just mainly some showers, mainly before 3 or 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Where will temperatures go from there? Well, the good news is that on Monday, we're back to the 70s, mostly sunny, and back to shower and thunderstorm chances, 50% Monday night. Tuesday of next week, mid-70s, low 60s. That's a good range to be in. Nice place to play there, right? With partly sunny skies and a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly Tuesday night. With that said, Wednesday, we're more cloudy than not, upper 70s, a 70% chance of showers and storms. Early next week, we'll see how this is all shaping up and the severity of any thunderstorms and how heavy any of this rain might be. Right now, none of these have really any heavy rain attached, but look at that. Wednesday, we're back up to the upper 70s, and Thursday, we're back to the low 50s and close to the freezing mark for your high and your low, and that pattern may roll on. That's it. We'll wrap up tomorrow night's show with Miss Zoe Howard and go out on a good, entertaining, uplifting, fun note. I promise that. and I promise you all the news that we'll have between now and then as well. I hope to see you for. Thank you for watching.